Welcome back to the channel, friends. It's Caleb, the Heikin Ashi investor, and I am excited today to bring you this video for a new challenge that I'm doing, something to stretch me outside my comfort zone and to try something new. I am, as some of you might be figuring out, pretty obsessed with trading in the stock market. The majority of the trading that I do is longer term. I have a retirement account that's more like position trading, holding things for a really long time, as well as I do more active swing trading, primarily on the daily chart. So entering into positions, holding them for a couple of days, usually a week or 2 weeks, in and out of those positions. Well, I have decided to give a shot to one of these prop firm challenges that are growing wildly popular online, and they provide you the opportunity to prove yourself as a day trader and then have the potential to get funded to trade real capital and make real money, real payouts off of these. So this series is going to be known as My Journey to Funded Trader. And I'm doing the smallest challenge that they have just to get my feet wet over at TradeDay. So it's the 10K prop challenge at TradeDay. So if you're not familiar with TradeDay, it's very similar to a lot of these other prop firms. Top Step is a popular one. Apex is another extremely popular one. I ended up choosing TradeDay for a couple of different reasons. One of the major ones being that they use TradeDay, which integrates with Apple products and MacBook. I love Mac. I got an iPhone. I got a Mac. I got a MacBook Air. I like to trade on my Mac. I don't have a PC. And so, using NinjaTrader or Sierra Charts or some of those others, I'm not able to do on a MacBook unless I want to download some extra software to do that, and I'm not really interested in doing that. So TradeDay integrates. It also integrates with TradingView. TradingView is a charting software that I love, and so it just makes things more seamless for me. So I chose TradeDay for that reason. It is a 10K account challenge, so I went ahead and signed up for it. I actually did the 14-day trial first, did a little bit of paper trading, made a couple $100, and was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this and start small. So with the 10K account challenge, it was, I believe, $100 to sign up, but they gave 20% off, so $79 to get in here. And if I end up passing it, which I have all intents to do, then I get funded with a 10K account and I can make payouts. All right, there are 3 objectives to this 10K challenge. Number 1 is I have to earn $1,000. So I have to go from 10K to an 11K account. Number 2 is consistency. They want to see people be consistent. And so instead of YOLOing 10 contracts and trying to hit one trade that takes you over $1,000 and then just sitting there for the next 10 days, they want people to show that they're consistent traders and they can repeat that. So they don't want any wins over 30% of your total profit. So if you have a $500 win and you're only trying to earn $1,000, they're going to have you continue to trade beyond the 10 days and make more winning trades so that that percentage starts to drop. And then lastly, you have to trade for at least 10 days. And you have to trade, if you read the fine print, you have to trade consistently for those 10 days. You can't earn $1,000 in 3 days and then not do anything for the next 7. They will look at that and probably not pass you. At least that's the impression that I get. Number 2, rules. There's only 3 rules that you are not allowed to break. Number 1, you have to trade during the permitted times. That means you can only day trade. That 1 hour from 11 to 12, you have to be out of your positions. You have to be flat by the end of the day, so you can't hold your positions over those periods. You have to trade the permitted products. They have a ton, all the main ones, your NASDAQ, your ES, SPY, Russell, corn, soybeans, cattle, gold, copper. They have pretty much everything you would think in futures you can trade on this, but you have to trade the permitted ones. And then you can only lose a maximum of $500 on the 10K account, so you're trying to make $1,000 but don't lose more than $500. And that's a trailing drawdown. So as I earn money and my earnings go up, say I get to $10,500, my absolute lowest I can go at that point is only 10,000. I can't let my account go below 500 maximum loss, and it does trail. So the strategy that I'm going to employ for this, as you know, as a fan of the channel, I'm a Heikin Ashi trader. I love those candlesticks. And so the strategy that I'm going to use will be very similar to the swing trading that I do on higher time frames. I do foresee this being a challenge, and that's why I'm excited about it. Heikin Ashi, the nature of them being an average of the price, is a little bit of a lagging price indicator. And that can be a little bit tough on intraday time frames because prices can move very quickly. And so I'm going to be using those 90% of the time. I will flip over to the regular candlesticks here and there when I'm taking entries and exits and different things like that. But the bulk of it is going to be the Heikin Ashi candles, because as you can see here on this photo, what I'm trying to do is catch these trends. I mean, I selected this one for a reason because it shows very strong trends, but down here on the right, if I catch something like right where this thing turns blue or green, up candles, and ride it all the way up over the course of several hours on 15-minute candles, I mean, that can be a 130, 150 tick move. This is not unheard of to get 20, 30, 40, 50 points. And so it can be very, very profitable. You can also get chopped to pieces if I'm in the wrong market environment. And so everything has its trade-off. But I'm going to use Heikin Ashi candles. 15-minute time charts are where I'm going to take my trades. I will obviously be using higher time frames like the 1 hour and 4 hour for more directional and overall market view. I'm going to use one simple moving average. This is this black line here on the chart. It's the 7. And I'm going to use one price indicator down here at the bottom, the Heikin Ashi delta. That takes a difference of the open and close of the previous candle, and then I believe, don't quote me on that, I don't have it right in front of me, but it plots that, and so it moves a little bit faster than the Heikin Ashi candles do, and it's a good warning sign of what's kind of happening with the price trend. And then not pictured here is the volume profile. That's the volume bars on the side of the screen that shows you where a lot of the price buying and selling is being conducted at what price. Not the time volume along the bottom. Now my focus list, I'm going to primarily, really almost exclusively trade the Russell 2000 futures. I'm going to do the micros, so the M2K. Those are 50 cents a contract. I chose the Russell. I'm also going to be looking at the Dow, the SPY, and the NASDAQ. And probably the crude oil and some of the other ones. But I chose the Russell because the past several weeks as I've been testing these strategies out, I've just found the Russell to not be as volatile as the SPY and NASDAQ and not give you those kind of crazy out of nowhere price reversals in the other direction or stop loss hunts. It just seems to me like the price action is a little bit more consistent. And that's really what we're looking for with the Heikin Ashi. If I can get consistent movement, I get a bunch of these candles with no lower wicks, right? I don't want wicks up and down on all of these candles. That's no good on Heikin Ashi. So risk management, the way that I'm going to structure this challenge is I am really going to try to aim for a 3-to-1 reward to risk. So I'm going to try to make 3 times as much on every trade that I do. I will say a caveat to that is I do like to also trade because I'm located in Hawaii. I like to trade in off hours. And so, if it's 8 o'clock here at night, that's 2 a.m. on the East Coast. Well, most people that trade on the East Coast are not awake at 2 a.m. looking at futures, but there can be some price movement there. And so if I'm trading in those non-peak hours, I might go to a 2-to-1. Just kind of depends upon what I'm feeling. But anyway, with that 3-to-1, my profit target on every trade is $150. And I'm risking a fixed risk of $50 max per trade. So most of my stop losses are technical in nature. If there is a recent doji candle nearby that I can put the stop above or below, or a recent swing high or low, that's where I'm aiming because I'm trading more of the structure. I think if it stays below this point, it's going to continue to go down, for example, if I'm short. And so I will do the math on that to figure out how many contracts I can buy and still only risk $50. That way, $50 is a fairly high percentage of what I'm allowed to lose. I'm only allowed to lose 500. So if I lose 10 straight times at 50 bucks, I fail this challenge. Little bit dicey, but with the testing that I've done with this strategy, I have faith that I'm not going to rattle off 10 straight losses in a row. Could be wrong, but I think I'm going to be okay on that. And then, if I go at 1 to 3 trades per day as opportunity presents itself is what I'm looking for. If I lose 3 in a row, I'm absolutely not trading anymore that day. If I lose 2 in a row, I'm going to be very selective about that third one. Win percentage target, I'm estimating about a 40% win percentage based upon the testing I've done with the strategy recently. So I think if my math serves me correctly, somewhere around 30 some odd trades should get me up to the $1,000 if I can hit that 3 to 1. Like I said, I'm going to adjust the risk 1 to 2 during non-peak hours, and I will use a trailing stop. So I'm busy. I have a full-time job. I have a baby at the house. I like Heikin Ashi because of the trending nature of it and the 15-minute time frame. I'm not trying to scalp. I can't watch the screen all the time. So I'm going to be at times setting a trailing stop and just leaving the computer. And hopefully that thing keeps rolling along. If it doesn't hit my take profit point, which is set at the 3 risk, 3 reward, then if it falls back and I get stopped out, but I still make 2R or even 1R, or at least don't go back into the negative, then I'm happy with that on the trail stop. So next up, I'm going to share this journey. So I think it'd be really cool as a way to hold myself accountable, to look at this every single day and recap my trades, what I was thinking, why I did it, how it turned out. So I'm going to post those every day on YouTube. I'm going to share at the end of each week my P&L and how the challenge is going. I'm going to walk through my thought processes before, during, and after. Be as open and transparent as possible. Trading is extremely hard. There's a lot of bullshitters out there flashing Lamborghinis and Rolex watches that really just want to be influencers and try to dupe people into signing up for courses or joining their paid discords, and they don't really share the honest truth that trading is extremely difficult and most people will fail at it. So I'm going to try to be open and transparent, and there's going to be a lot of losses that I'm going to get to share with everyone, and that's okay. I'm hoping to learn and grow from it. And then lastly, I really hope that this builds a network of supportive traders and like-minded people. I'm hoping to meet some others out there on the internet and YouTube land, you that's watching this that wants to follow along, to support each other and share ideas and comments. And so, if you happen to see this video or any of my other ones, leave some comments down below and we can kind of go on this journey together. So that's it. I filmed this on Sunday. I'm actually sitting in a trade right now that is in a small profit. My trailing stop has moved up to above the break-even point. So even if it reverses on me, I'm going to be making a little bit of money. But I will post the results of that after the trading day on Monday. So thanks for following along. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and keep track of this challenge as I go through it. I hope you have a wonderful week.